This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This your boy Black Magus, and looks like Netflix has made a monumental decision that is shook up part of the world, and I don't know why. So, Netflix has decided that some of their shows from here on out, going forward, they will be doing on a weekly basis. And what I mean by that is, instead of releasing them like Netflix normally do, when they just release entire seasons at once for people to binge day one, they're going to pick a certain release date of the week and release a show episodically as if it were network or some cable TV channels. And this has people up in arms. They're upset because of the potential risk of having to wait to watch the entirety of a season for one of their favorite shows. To which I say, you aren't really that upset. You probably aren't really that mad, and you really need to just calm down. Like, seriously. It's funny because I went to a back and forth with this on Twitter, and I still maintain my opinion now, even after thinking about it some. So here's the deal. Episodic things have happened for ever. Even before there were TV shows, like when people used to do ongoing stories on stage, in plays, you didn't get each chapter at once, unless the whole concept of the thing was to do an entire story in one play. But there were episodic plays, Japanese theater I could think of was, if I recall my reading right, they did that on occasion. It's happened. It's not like it's the bad thing, and people look forward to that, next episode. People were fine with that. It all depends on, basically, in my opinion, how much you like something and how well it's done. If you like it, it's done well, fine. Now, if Netflix is saying we're putting out one episode a month, yeah, that's some bullshit. But if they're doing it like a regular program TV show, people will be fine with it. In fact, I agree with some articles I read. I think we like episodic stuff a lot more than we like to give on. I think we appreciate it because it creates a social setting that's, well, for me, more healthier, and that's a lot more engaging than the binge watch thing. To sit and binge a whole season of a show in one day, it takes that show, makes it a short-term phenomenon, and then it goes away. Whereas with episodic things, let's be honest, when Game of Thrones was on, all the people watched Game of Thrones. The week-to-week event of having that discussion the day after, or as of today, to the day on, as we all just jump on Twitter and just go nuts anyway, that was something that we all look forward to. We like sitting and talking about our theories and discussing what could possibly happen, what's coming next, reviewing what happened, and looking back and thinking about what we would have did different and all of that. It sparks a better conversation. It makes for better, like, social theater in my mind. It's just like I used to listen to a podcast about the Game of Thrones, and I thought that was part of it was how cool it was to just see the people get together and just like sound off. I do spoiler cast with people and do a look back on things. I kind of regret not doing an episodic accounting of shows like Euphoria. In fact, I would love to find a show that I can go episode to episode and do a podcast on a regular basis, because I like having those conversations. We all like having those weekly conversations, and with the binge watching, it's taken away that social part. Whereas now, that social part will be brought back with more episodic things. Not only that, it keeps people digesting your content a lot longer from a business perspective. So I don't blame that for doing that, because people will just sit, they'll go through this one particular thing, and they probably will never go back until their thing is back, or somebody mentions something enough to where they are potentially interested. I think that's part of what they're doing, is that they're trying to give people time to have a conversation about things. You don't like, I've yet to watch Stranger Things, and I'm sure I'm not going to really have a conversation with that anymore, because everybody I know who watches it probably has watched it within that first week or so, and they're all done. So for Netflix, it's like, you got the buzz during that 1 week or so, and now it's gone. Now people are just sitting and not thinking about your product. And you don't want that. I think Hulu, it's funny, I used to say, why is Hulu doing this? But it makes so much sense why Hulu puts out The Handmaid's Tale every week. Because that anticipation keeps you logging in. It keeps bringing back your numbers. Netflix just gets spikes, and then boom, we go. Spike, boom, we go. And for them, I think it's a lot better. I think it's probably a lot better production-wise too, to spread things out, because they're not spending as much effort putting together these one-shot pieces, and then that's it. They're allowed time to let things develop a little bit more, and it's a better spacing, I think, because we're not going to probably see anything on, say, Stranger Things for at least a year, whereas they would have took those 10 episodes and take 2 months out of the year. It's like, okay, they've done the show, sure, we watch the next 10 weeks, okay, come back in 6 to 8 months, because they'll be done with production for the next thing by then. You know what I mean? That scheduling thing keeps the rotation of viewership a lot better. People don't really realize this. I think part of the reason is because a lot of us watch a lot of shows on HBO, which tends to take much longer in this development cycle. But if you think about the way how network TV is set up, it's kind of a perfect loop where you get this September to March, April cycle. They take off for the summer, you have reruns, and then you're back at it in the fall, and you keep people looping back into your system without giving them a lot of distance to forget. That brings, it gives them enough impatience to where they're just like, come on, I need my show, but doesn't make them wait way too long. So when they come back in the fall, yes, my shit is back. I think people don't realize how psychologically clever that is, and how that works much better than the binge thing. I get it, you want to consume what you want to consume, when you want, how you want, whatever. I think that whole I want what I want thing has gone out of control, and I think we miss certain aspects that have always been much more enjoyable in life. It makes more sense business wise, because everybody wants that instant gratification. Now. Give it to me now. Even though you're probably not going to binge watch it until God knows how long later.
give it to me now, just so I know I have it now, because I know I can get it now. So give me it, goddamn it, now. You know, that makes no sense. The spacing out thing, I think people are complaining now, but when it happens and when it starts to happen more frequently, they're gonna adjust, and they'll probably find themselves a lot more happier, because it's not like they're gonna not allow you to binge things. These things will still be archived, and you can go back and binge at your heart's content. They're just making it more event like base, you know, appointment TV thing. And that's the thing. I think that's the thing that people need to realize, is like, we've missed out a lot on appointment TV because we've gotten used to the binge thing in the last couple of years. Trust me, within a month or two, people ain't gonna care. You crying now, but you're not gonna care, because you're gonna find yourself appreciating that appointment TV thing much more. Believe me. And for those of us who don't have the time to catch an appointment TV, we'll appreciate the fact that it'll be there at our, like, you know, at our disposal whenever we're ready. That's how I look at it, and I think that's how a lot of people should really look at it. But it is what it is. Anyway, as always, you guys feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. It's your boy Blak, and I'm out. Deuces.